Hey, Yinz guys and gals, gather round for a journey like no other. It's time to hop on board the Where Yinz Goin podcast. From the rivers that meet at the point to form downtown Pittsburgh, to the Great Salt Lake, to the furthest corners of the globe, Matt and Katie will be your compass, your confidants, your companions of that, as we explore the wonders of travel. So kick back, relax on your couch, and let the wanderlust wash over Yinz as we discover new horizons and reminisce about old favorites. With Matt and Katie by our side, the sky's the limit. Join Matt and Katie on the Where Yinz Goin podcast, because when it comes to travel, the journey's just getting started. And now, without further ado, let's give a shout for your guides through the highways and byways of travel, the planning partners, the travel tandem, Matt and Katie.
Hi, Yinz doing? Welcome to the Where Yinz Goin podcast. I'm Matt. I'm one of your hosts. We're going to have a second episode discussing how kids survive travel. And joining us today are Mandy and Zoey, who also talked to us about kids' perspectives of Disney. Mandy also joined us for it was a month straight. It was 4 weeks with the episodes about their Disney Cruise Line cruise on the Disney Treasure and about Disney roller coasters.
That was a fun
And
one.
Mandy's coming back to talk about a few other things later on too. So it's great to have you both back.
Thank you.
So Zoey, how what do you do to help keep from getting bored when you do long road trips? So if you're taking long road trips in the car or long flights?
I've done both, and sometimes when I'm in the car, I watch like a movie or something. I watch a couple of movies. Then after I finish the movie, if it's like a couple hours on the car ride, I kind of like just look out the window for a little bit.
So how do you watch the movies? Is it just on the phone, or do you have one of the DVD players or a TV in your car?
I have like a little iPad. I can watch.
Oh, on an iPad?
Mm.
Yeah, we have a little portable DVD player that we need to actually use. I bought it for my niece and nephew. I believe I'm the one who bought it for them back when they were kids. And now my oldest nephew is going to grad school for college. So you know how long it's been in the family.
Yes. Yeah, and I think you've used my laptop too. We used
Yeah.
to though have both my husband and I both had cars that had the screens in the back of the headrests.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually glad we got away from them, because then, especially when Zoe was really young and growing up, like even when we went to the grocery store, she'd be like, "Mom," like as a toddler, movie. I'm like, no, 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 no. We don't need to watch something every single time we get in the car. This is for a road trip, right?
Yep.
Do you have a favorite movie to watch, Zoe?
I sometimes watch ones that I don't like watch that much, but then I end up liking it and I watch it forever. But I like watching like Moana and stuff.
Moana, you said?
Yeah.
That's a good one. We just finished watching the second Moana movie just a little while ago. It took like a month to watch it, that we'd watch like 10, 15 minutes at a time before my little girl lost interest. And then we finally got to the end of it.
It was good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy just looking out the window and seeing the scenery go by?
Yeah.
Sometimes with my like guidance, right? I'm bored. I want something else to do. And I'm like, look out the window. We're somewhere new, count something.
Sometimes I like to like sometimes there's like
Yeah.
horseback riding places, and I like looking at the horses.
So here's a DVD that I was just finished watching. This is, oh, I forget when this was made. Let's see, is there a date on this? 2004. So well before you were born, Zoe. It's called Unusual Buildings and Other Roadside Stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And so in Pittsburgh, we have a wonderful PBS channel. It's WQED. And the one person who works there, his name is Rick Seebeck. And he has made so many of these like a kind of it's kind of like documentaries about different places, different things, whatever. And so this one, he made a couple that are national ones. There's one called it's about amusement parks. There's one called the Hot Dog Show. Another is sandwiches that you'll like, and he goes around the country and highlights different
Oh, I love.
amusement parks. So, yeah, there in his voice, there's something about his voice that's so soothing, and it just fits so great. But this one is about so on the cover, there's a big building that looks like a duck, where you could actually go and buy duck eggs there whenever it was first built years
My
ago.
gosh.
Um,
Creative.
yeah, there's a hot dog shop that's shaped like a hot dog. So things along those lines. So things like that when you're driving through, especially with us, we're on kind of opposite ends of Pennsylvania. There, you in there in New Jersey, but driving across Pennsylvania, seeing a lot of things with the farm country, and it's like, hey, look at that building there, and
Yeah.
again, same type of thing.
And the mountains and the tunnels. I remember when the kids got old enough to really realize, like, oh wow, we're in a mountain. These are the tunnels.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah, driving along the Pennsylvania Turnpike, Route
hmm
7, Interstate 76,
Yep,
and there's a couple of them right in a row that are big ones when you're going through the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. I like that.
you do like the tunnels.
If you ever drive through some of the places out near the Rockies, and specifically in Yosemite, it's kind of in the Sierra Nevada more, but some of the tunnels there, especially one that goes into Yosemite Valley, it's called Tunnel View. You
Okay.
are greeted with the most amazing view ever.
Oh wow.
It looks like a postcard, and it's one of the common postcard pictures, that iconic pictures of Yosemite that you see. But going through a
Right.
tunnel, and then it just opens up. It's like,
Oh my God. I've never been out there to Yosemite or Yellowstone, but that's on my husband's bucket list. He wants to do an out west, like rent a, motorhome and drive and do the national parks tour. So,
well, my dad and I have done two podcast episodes, one on Yosemite, one on Yellowstone. So you
okay.
can
Yes,
go
and get
back and
I'll listen
kind
to
of
all of your tips.
give that a little nudge to your husband. Hey, here's something good we should listen to.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea.
So, Zoe, do you ever play any games when you're in the car?
Um, Sometimes I play like rock, paper, scissors with my brother. Um, I'm We mostly just watch movies and then we just like kind of stop at places in the middle of like getting there. When I'm on a plane, I kind of just like on takeoff, I don't really like it, so I just my mom gives me gum and
You
I
chew really fast, right?
chew really fast. But I like bringing my Nintendo Switch with me on my plane.
But you also bring coloring books.
Yeah, I
Remember
bring
for the
coloring
cruise, I got you the
Yeah.
activity book with tic-tac-toe and hangman. Yeah.
Oh, we've done all that too. That,
Yeah.
back when I was young, and your mom will appreciate this, having the original Game Boy to play.
Oh my gosh. That was, yeah, I remember when we first would get one because as a kid, I grew up in Michigan and we would come out here to the Jersey Shore every summer. So that drive was normally we would stop in Pittsburgh though and stay with family and visit with them for a few days. So it broke it up nicely, like a good, 7 hours one way and then 7 hours whenever we would decide to get on our way. But I remember when the Game Boy came out and I was like, wow, what a novel idea. Look at us. We can play games in the car versus like my mom would have like a little tub for us with, coloring stuff and snacks and because we didn't have those screens when we were kids.
We
Although
all
we go ahead.
in the plane sometimes we play the quiet game and like other times um we'll watch movies too in the plane. Yeah.
So I have three sisters, so I'm one of four.
Oh,
So on
wow.
our road trips, there were a lot of people in the car, and even whenever we would just go to visit my grandma, who she lived in the same town of us, both all lived in Pittsburgh, but even just going to her house from our house, on Saturday nights, that was our weekend thing. We would go see my
Yeah.
grandma, and we would always play the quiet game on the way there, and that was my parents' favorite game for some reason. It's my favorite game now too.
Yeah, it's a good. Zoe actually loves playing the quiet game and will do it. You did it today, or was it yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
At least once a week. If not more, Zoe will be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, quiet game.
And of course, that's how my little girl does it too. No preamble, just all right, quiet game, 1, 2, 3,
No,
go.
yeah, exactly. My husband and I will be like, say right in the middle of a conversation we need to have, and she'll say it, and then we lose. And I'm like, Zoey, we weren't prepared. This was,
I think that's my daughter's plan. That's her strategy. Is like she's waiting till my wife and I are talking about something.
Yes.
And she's like, all right, either
Yeah.
she's just bored with the conversation and doesn't want to hear it, or she just wants to win the game. One or
Exactly.
the
They're
other.
going to lose because they're talking. This is great. Yeah.
And Zoe's laughing at this because uses that same strategy. I can tell.
I think so.
Last summer when we were in Indonesia and driving around my wife's hometown, and there were a bunch of us in the car, that her sisters and our nephews, nieces on that side, everyone. So we had a big crowd going in, big car all the time. And
Mhm.
so we'd start the game, and of course, we'd be in there. We'd be pointing to people, and we'd be giving the little outside symbol with our thumbs as we were going along. And me and her were some of the ones who won the most over there.
Oh
And
my
so we'd
God.
give high fives whenever we were winning.
Absolutely. And you try to make your brother laugh as you do it.
Yeah.
But then it's hard to determine, like, does a silent laugh count? Does a sniffle count? Like sometimes they'll point at each other and I'm like, that was a sniffle. That doesn't really count.
That was a
You got to
sniffle.
establish ground rules, I guess, before you start.
Yeah.
And I think ours are any words had to be spoken.
Okay.
That's an important thing. Make sure you have the ground rules before you start the game.
Yes.
Definitely.
And we had Mandy mentioned about not having the electronic devices. At one point, we got a portable TV,
Oh, wow.
and this thing, the screen was, maybe 4
Tiny.
inches across
Yeah.
as a diagonal, so smaller than your phone. And the signal wasn't too good because it had just a little antenna. And we'd
Yeah.
be driving, through. We usually used it whenever we went to my dad and uncle had a cabin up in Cooks Forest, Forest County, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and driving, through mountains there. And sometimes the signal wasn't so good, so we would often just be able to turn. We get snow on the screen, and Zoe, you have no idea what snow is on a TV screen. You just get digital pixelation. But so we would turn the screen off and we would be able to listen to our Saturday morning cartoons.
Wow.
But we had seen the cartoons so many times, we could pretty
You
much
knew
picture what was
coming.
happening just by the time. It's like, oh, it's that episode. Yeah, that's great. I love that one. So
Yes. Makes you use your imagination a little bit.
exactly.
I like that.
And those activity books, they're a lifesaver. Especially I love the ones that had the magic pen. They would only work on the book.
On the book. That is something I did used to get the kids when they were little. That was a lifesaver. And I'd always be like, come on, take your time. And they'd scribble through every page as fast as humanly possible.
Although the ones had hangman, so you actually had to write things down.
Ooh.
So you couldn't just scribble. Yeah, those were neat.
Oh, we never had those.
And of course, we cheated a bit on the hangman that to get more answers, it was like, oh, you got to learn. Okay, I'm only coloring this eye in. I'm only coloring the other eye. Oh, the hand is separate from the arm, so the hand gets covered.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
We milked it out. So yeah, you can even do each finger,
Each finger.
get more guesses.
You could add clothes.
Yeah, we had more body parts than letters, so we eventually always won.
That was a really good game.
Another game that we play now, it's called the alphabet game that we made up. That we say 1, 2, 3, and then everyone puts up as many fingers as you want. And then you go through the alphabet with each finger, like A, B, C, D, counting the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever letter you end on, you have to come up with words that start with that letter.
Oh.
Oh, I like that version because we called it the ABC game as a kid, but we would every letter. So you'd pick a category and say, okay, we're gonna do the ABC game and we'll do, say, animals or Disney World. That was always my favorite. And so you have to name something for each letter having to do with that category.
Yeah.
And we get sometimes my lawyer were like, okay, you have to come up with 3 words now. And so it wasn't just one word, you had to come up with several of them.
Wow.
And yeah, sometimes we will limit it to, okay, it's only got to be food, it's got to be whatever.
Right.
And with my wife being Indonesian, sometimes she'll throw out an Indonesian word that's whatever. And so we play the Indonesian version too.
That's good.
Sometimes when we're in like a Disney line or something and we're waiting in a long line, we'll just we'll say, let's play the ABC game, and we play it like so many times until we get like go on the ride. So that's something we do a lot.
Yeah.
Do you ever get the other people in line around you to play the game too? Did they just kind of like jump in? It's like, oh, this is fun. Let me join in.
No, but that's a
No,
good idea. That
no.
would be fun.
It's like, all right, ABC game. Who wants to play?
Who wants to play? Yeah, get off your phones. Let's play.
Yeah.
I love
We've
that.
done the heads up game on the phone while waiting in line.
Oh, we've done with the phone with the like
With the we flip it up and down, yeah.
yes, that is fun. I like that. And that now I've played that with other groups, and then we've done the same, like you just mentioned with the animal or the ABC game. We've done it where like other kids have tried to, when they see what we're doing and the kids are having a blast, they'll try to get in and start guessing. That's fun.
Hmm. And one game that's kind of an offshoot of the ABC thing is that my mom used to do this, and she told us about whenever she was a kid doing it, and we did it a couple times, is you come up with a long word, and
Okay.
then you have to come up with as many words using those letters that you possibly can.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh.
That's a good
So like
one.
the word extravagant, and
Yeah.
take all those letters. What can you make from there?
I'd have to write it down though, because I'm not
Yeah,
have
me
to
too.
write it down.
I'd have to write it down.
That's a good idea. I like that one.
And
Is
so
there-
what we have,
Oh no, go ahead, Matt.
we just made a road trip up to Pittsburgh earlier today, and I gave my daughter, she has a little tablet thing that she can write on. It looks like a blackboard, but then you write and it's
Oh
got
yes.
colored stuff, and then you
So
hit the button and it clears. So that's a
you
great thing for the
I have that.
create words game, because you can write the word out and you have it there, you can
absolutely.
see it, but then you're not going through like a whole notebook or
Yeah.
paper or anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kids love. I forgot about those. Those are
Yeah.
great.
We've also done funny face contests,
We've never done.
or you make different expressions and you have to guess what expression you're doing.
Oh,
Like,
that's
oh,
good.
is it happy, or oh, is it sad? And this was mainly for whenever my little girl was a bit younger, just to get to be able to recognize emotions, and,
Yeah,
and facial expressions, body language type thing.
absolutely. Mix it up a bit. I like that.
And one of my little girl's favorite things, whenever I'm driving the car, is she sits behind the passenger seat, so she wants me to try to grab her feet. So when you're driving a car, that's the safest thing to do, is to try and reach back and grab your daughter's feet. Or
100%.
So safe.
she's very ticklish right above the knee too. She's like, try, yeah, I have to try and tickle her too. So
Oh my gosh. I remember one ride home we'd visited when my dad was still living back in Michigan, and we were coming home and we got on like the Ohio Turnpike, and my son, who was probably like 5 or 6 at the time, there's a picture of me because I'm obviously in the front seat and he's behind me, but both of his bare feet are up on the headrest, like right next to me, and he's sound asleep with his feet up on the headrest. And I took a picture of myself with his feet. I love it.
hopefully they were clean feet,
They were clean
because
feet. I
we're
wouldn't
not
want him
having
to
his
do it
holy
now.
socks on. Oh, good. Say it again, Mandy.
I said I wouldn't want him to do it now, but when he was little, it was cute.
Not having the holy socks.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they were nice, clean feet.
Have any holes in my socks?
No, you're good.
So Zoe, do you actually get to help plan some of your vacations? Do your parents talk to you as like, okay, we're going to Disney. What do you want to do? And do you get to help figure out what you're going to do during the days, or if you're going somewhere?
I sometimes get to pick the hotel that we stay at.
Is that for Disney?
Yeah,
Which one's your favorite?
I like Pop Century.
Pop Century?
Yeah.
I'm so blessed by that because I actually took her. She and I went on a mother-daughter trip, and I found a great rate for contemporary somehow. I mean, it was still expensive, but I'm like, you know what? I take both of my kids one time by themselves. And so for her to like Pop Century over contemporary, I think that's a win.
I've never stayed in the Polynesian.
No, you did. You were a baby.
Oh yeah,
You don't remember it.
I have, but I don't remember it.
Mhm.
But like if I do it again, I feel like I'll remember more of it because when
You-
I was littler, I didn't really remember it.
Well, I've been working on an outline for an upcoming episode that's going to be all of the hotels that are along the Skyliner, and I believe your
Oh,
mom's joining me for that one.
I would love to.
So, and I just did. I'm halfway through it. I've done Pop Century and Art of Animation,
Okay.
and those two are so. So for with Disney, the less expensive hotels
Hmm.
don't have quite as many amenities and as
Correct.
restaurants and other things that the more expensive the deluxe resorts have,
Hmm.
but they make up for it with the theming.
They
That it
do.
is.
And I think it's especially like aimed towards families with a bunch of kids, and the kids really love that theming because I know I booked a big family of 11 for an upcoming cruise. And the grandmother of, she reached out and she's like, the kids want to know if the rooms are themed. And in that respect, like you're saying, the deluxe resorts have that tasteful, Disney flair and Disney theme, whereas the value resorts tend to be more like, hey, you're in a Disney hotel room and everywhere you look, there is bright colors and
Yeah.
characters and everything.
So yeah, they're fun to be at.
They are.
Yeah.
Art of Animation was beautiful.
It was I didn't really like the room because I really don't like rooms on the ground, but that one was fine. I
Oh, you
mean,
like to be up.
I like to be up. Why?
Oh, penthouse girl, I get it. You like being up high and so you can see everything. And
Level
mhm.
four Pop Century. That was a hike every day and night on those steps.
Yeah.
Oof.
Which building were you in? Do you remember?
Went, you went left. Shoot, what building was it? You went left
Oh.
out of the food court,
We for both. I think we forgot.
and it was the second group of build. It was the one where if you left the bus stop and cut through the parking lot, you could see it right there, but I'm blanking on which one we were in.
80s and 90s are over there on the left.
Then it was probably 80. Yeah, because I feel like Pac-Man was on our building.
That was the 80s.
Was
Yeah.
it not?
Yes, it was.
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah, Pac-Man was on.
Oh, well,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure we were, yeah. I bet we've stayed there a lot of times, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And so whenever we would do our vacations on the trip there, we would talk about what we were looking forward to the most.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to get to do this and we're going to do that. And then on the way home, we talk about what we liked the most.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that.
And that's a way to relive your trip
Always. I
as
love
you're
doing that
coming
through
back.
pictures too. I'll be like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's just look through our pictures and our
Yeah.
videos and pretend like we're still there.
Sometimes when we're at the hotel, um, my mom and I we take the stairs and my brother takes the elevator. We see who can get there the fastest.
Mhm.
It's actually really fun.
It is fun.
As long as your legs still have some energy after the
Yes.
the
Yes.
long day, if it's Disney after the park or whatever else. But yeah, we do that too. I usually win
Absolutely.
Yeah.
taking the steps.
One time, my mom, we were out like on Main Street and all that, and it was like I don't even know what time it was of night, and my legs were beat, so I couldn't even like walk to the bus. So I had to like get carried onto the bus and then I slept on the bus. And then when we got back, like my legs still couldn't walk. So I had to like be carried. So it was like my dad, then my mom carried me, then my brother.
Oh,
then
I remember that.
then it started all over again, all the way until we got to the room.
That's when we were at Art of Animation. She is correct.
So you had a relay of people carrying you the whole time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she was this age and this size. And I started from the bus stop, and then I don't think Daddy took over. I think my son took over,
Yeah.
and he
we
took her
really-
all the way back. That was intense.
My dad took me for a little bit,
Okay, good.
but
Since my daughter's still kind of small and she's about 50 pounds, so
Okay.
I'll give her the upside down piggyback ride.
How-
Basically, it's a fireman's carry that I'll just pick her up
like,
over my
oh,
shoulder and
yeah.
but her legs are in front and her head's hanging in the back. And
Yes.
you sometimes ask for those specifically, and then she's small enough that I can like kind of hold her down more. Like I'll have both legs here, so she's just hanging behind me.
Like a backpack. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
And then she likes to try and smack me in the butt too as I'm carrying her.
You would do that. I love that.
And Zoe, another game you can play is another alphabet game. Is as you're driving along, you have to look at the road signs, and you have to try to go in alphabetical order of finding a word that starts with each letter.
Oh, I think we did that on the way to
Yeah,
Shenandoah
we did.
or Hocking Hills, one
Yeah,
of
we
them.
did that. One of them.
Or
I
you
did
can do it
that game.
back in
That was fun.
reverse. Yeah, or reverse alphabetical order.
Oh, I'd
So you
have
just
to
got to
I
start with
can't.
Z.
I couldn't do that.
You could. We would just have to say it every time to figure out where we were.
Yeah, like
Z, Y,
X.
yeah, W. That would take a while,
Yeah.
but that is fun.
No, you could do it out of order too and just have your list and have to write it all down. But
Yeah.
going in order, you just don't have to write everything down. But there are some letters that it gets kind of tricky on, especially like
Yeah,
Q and X.
definitely. Because you can't use exit. Doesn't count.
No.
Although there are trucks that are extra, XTRA.
Yes.
That's where I get that.
There you go.
Or if we're going by a hospital and has like the X-ray thing.
There you go. That all counts.
And the Q, you got to look for a quality in.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, they're tricky. I've learned many car trips that I've learned the tricks of this. We even come with alternate rules of you could skip a letter and come back to it later. But if the other person says that letter before you get to it, then you have to go back. There's all kinds of
Oh,
penalties.
yeah. You can
We get
really,
really involved.
absolutely. But that makes
Very,
it all makes the time go by faster. So
Yeah.
we're competitive.
yeah. Like that.
We've also done the license plate bingo, or just keeping a list of all the license plates you see.
Okay.
I sometimes I like have to. I play this game. I play it by myself. You can, but like if there's a car in front of us or like a car like that's turning, you have to read the license plate as fast as you can. So when the car moves, like you can't lose it. It's actually really hard.
Sometimes, if it's too far ahead, you can't read it. So you have to wait till you get close enough, and then you don't
Yeah.
have a whole lot of time sometimes.
But it doesn't matter like the number. It's just like you just have to count as many as you want.
Yeah, so whenever I was in college, I had an internship. So I went to college in Erie, Pennsylvania. The internship was in Conneaut, Ohio. So it was like a 45-minute drive. And so to keep myself, I did it twice a week. And to keep myself occupied, I would check out the license plates and I would see if I could get every state. And I eventually got it done.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Did you go to Edinburgh?
No, it was Gannon University.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Edinburgh's a little bit farther south, and they're right.
Okay.
They always got hit with the lake effect snow too.
Oh, yeah. My cousin went there for college. So you said Erie. I was like, oof, that's snowy.
Yeah, they measured snow by feet, not inches.
Yeah. No,
Sometimes.
no thanks.
But the license plate thing, yeah, I wouldn't always get all the states every trip, but over time during the semester, I got them all.
Definitely. Yeah.
Although there was a one trip I went from Morgantown to, I think, Philadelphia or DC.
Okay.
And I got on the trip down and back, I think I got all the states
Wow.
and like half of Canada too.
Wow. We definitely
like-
have a lot of Canadian plates down here.
Yeah. And Florida.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
Swedes.
Like going to bigger cities like Washington, D.C., New York, Niagara Falls, you get a lot too. So depending on where you go, it can also influence how many different states you see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And with the Canadians, we always get Canadians traveling south on I-79, which runs all up and down from Erie to Pittsburgh down to Morgantown.
Yep.
And the Canadians like to drive, especially from Ontario. They come on down, and Canadians are awesome people. Eh?
They are. Hey.
So we're gonna have a Niagara Falls episode coming up soon too.
Oh, I want to take the kid. I was there when I was a kid, but I haven't been back since. So you've got to see it. It's beautiful.
So Zoe, whenever we record it, you can listen to it and you can just picture all this awesome stuff in your mind before you go.
Okay.
Or you can wait, and then you can compare whenever you go to see how much you agree with us.
Yeah. I will be very critical on that.
I can imagine you would. Zoe, do you have anything else you wanted to add about traveling and how you survive, or tips for other kids traveling?
Maybe if like you you don't really like I would sometimes I like draw, sometimes like if you can like figure out a way to like if you don't have like tape or anything, it kind of sounds weird, but see like just draw a picture and you just like maybe tape it on a seat and you could look at that. You could play like make stuff out of paper. I like doing that.
Oh, the origami stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the drawing on paper, I like that. You can kind of like your fridge where you stick stuff on your fridge, your drawings. You can bring a little bit of scotch tape and you can stick it all on the back of the seat in front of you and you can decorate the inside of your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little art gallery.
Yeah.
I like that.
I've never
Uh,
done it. It was just my idea.
Drawing's always good. It's a good pastime.
It is.
Hmm.
Although, Mandy, I want to go back. Whenever you're saying about making those long trips from Michigan to the New Jersey shore,
Yes.
which car were you driving with your
Oh,
parents?
back in the day, we had one of those giant, I forget who made it. It was one of those giant, like dark gray vans. It had a toilet in the back, it had blinds on the window. It was like one of those giant, horrible vans. And then once we got rid of that, my mom had a Ford Aerostar, the minivan.
Okay.
And it was typically in one of those. Um, yeah, I think that. And then once we got older, sometimes we started flying. But those were the two main 80s rides that we would use.
When we were younger, we had the station wagon.
Oh,
So
never had the station wagon.
picturing the, from National Lampoon
Vacation.
Summer Vacation, the
Yeah.
the family, what was it? What do you call it?
Oh, yeah, I know what you
It
mean.
was like the family cruiser. No, it wasn't that. Um, anyway, we called ours the Schrader Mobile.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So now I need to Google this of
Yeah, that's a classic road trip movie, Vacation, the original.
family truckster. That was it.
Family Truckster.
So yeah, ours was a Schrader Mobile. We had it was a custom. Well, we had a couple different ones, but I remember the Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, and we
Okay.
would have laid all the seats down, and we would put sleeping bags back there and drive.
Oh, that's fun.
Now, Zoe, don't do this because this was before seatbelt laws. So okay,
Yeah.
you don't want your parents to get pulled over for that now.
Yeah. Now we have our back seat, the seats recline a little bit. Like it's ridiculous. It's amazing, but
Yeah, that's what we do if my wife is sitting in the back seat with my little girl. That they'll put the seats back, and it's
yep,
like, yeah, she's like, I'm gonna take a nap and lean back.
exactly. Exactly. It's comfy.
She doesn't like whenever I say I'm gonna take a nap too and lean mine back farther. So for some reason, whenever we get those auto drive cars,
Ugh.
Mandy, do you have a travel tip you'd like to share?
I'd say for airplanes when traveling with kids, make sure you have gum or something if you don't want to give them gum, like something they can chew during takeoff and landing to help with like the pressure changes. Cause I know my son really didn't struggle with that too much, but Zoe definitely did, especially when she was little. She was like, I really don't like airplanes because that would really bother her. And then as far as any long trip, whether it be road trip or airplane or train or whatever, I guess have a backup. I know a lot of parents love to depend on screens, like, oh, they'll have their screen, they'll be fine. But like if batteries happen or internet's an issue or whatever, have, the old fashioned, you know, book of puzzles, little workbook, or like you said, go back to those old fashioned games. I love that. So.
You can even like do math questions. I do that
Oh,
sometimes.
she does do that. Yep. She'll create math questions for us.
Zoe, you and I are like best. You and I would be best friends, just so you know. And we do that too. We, especially with my little girl, counting stuff and what's 3 plus 5 and little addition things. And just to show you how much of a nerd I am, whenever I was in high school, we did algebra stuff too. Up
Oh,
here's an equation, solve, and yeah.
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of my friends, whenever we tried to do it in the car, they looked at me like I was a complete nerd,
Yeah. Like
which they were
stop.
right about. But
Stop.
So one time I did this with my friends. So you make up like a little math test and then they have to do it and you need like an answer sheet and you need to write all these questions on. I've never done that in a road trip, but if
But that's a
like
great idea
it's a good idea.
because we
Yeah.
can't get away from you. We can't say no, so we have to.
Yeah, you can't say no.
You did that at a birthday party last weekend.
Yeah.
So
And I lost my train of thought there. What you were saying before, Mandy.
travel tips,
Yeah, with your travel tip, I forget what you said now.
gum or something to chew for the
Oh,
air.
the gum. That was it.
Yeah.
My mom always had the Mentos. And
Oh.
so it's something you can suck on, and then when it gets soft enough, you can actually chew it, and then it's something you can swallow, so you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it like the
Yeah.
gum.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
I
I was always obsessed with the gum as a kid on the plane because we weren't allowed to chew gum like on a really ever. So when we got to go on an airplane and get gum, I thought it was literally like the best day ever. So I guess that's why probably I get the kids gum, but my husband gets some gum I mean, not all the time, but every once in a while.
yeah, every once in a while I get some gum.
The other travel thing is that we all have snacks. Food is important.
Definitely. And water. I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
people forget that. At rest stops, all that can add up. And I love bringing not just like the junk snacks, but like a bag of clementines. It's amazing
Yeah.
how fast those things will go.
Oh, those are good too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on planes, we always have an empty water bottle that we can then get through security and then fill up.
Fill it up.
Whether it's a reusable one or just a little plastic one that we, disposable one, and then we'll just reuse that a couple times. Then it'll last the trip, and that's the important thing.
Yep. Yep.
And if it gets lost, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
if your kids are young enough, having a favorite toy, but not the favorite toy, so in case it gets lost, but something that they're familiar with, just to play around with, little stuffed animal.
Yeah.
It helps with sleeping, especially on hard planes.
I think I've lost
No,
I
you
I
didn't.
feel like I have because I'm starting to have like I feel like whenever I go to play with the thing, like whenever I took somewhere, I like can't find it. So I don't know if I lost it, gave it away, or I don't know.
Yeah. So that reiterates don't bring your favorite on
Yes,
that plane.
don't.
Keep
Something
it
you
that
like, but
way.
not the favorite. Yeah.
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 And also, don't bring any weapon-shaped toys on planes. I learned that found that the
Yeah.
hard way whenever I was like 10 years old. There was a little playset thing that it was like little army guys that came in a little case that was shaped. Well, one was like a handgun, one was like a grenade,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we brought like it's a toy, and then we got through security, and they're like, excuse me.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah.
And
Or,
one time,
oh no, go ahead. Keep going.
the one time we were in, I think it was Disney, or it might have been Colonial Williamsburg, that we were flying back, that we bought the little gun that like the colonial
Oh,
gun
yes.
that can't go through security either. So please be careful what you're bringing. Lightsabers are okay, but be careful with other things.
Pop guns and things like that. Yeah. And even joking about it. I remember it was pre 9/11 and all that, but it was still so serious. My sisters and I were going through security and my sister's bag got flagged for something. And we were young, but not that young. I want to say probably 10 through like 14. And the youngest, because it was my oldest sister's bag that got caught, and security's looking through it, and the youngest said, "Oh my gosh, Jess, what do you have, a gun in your bag?" Like just joking. But the security guard was like, "Young lady, like you cannot say that." So things like that to maybe educate your kids on. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And they have even signs of no this, no that, and no
Yes.
jokes.
No jokes. Yeah. And
Wait,
I'll never forget that.
Does ours have a no jokes on it?
Probably at security if you look at it.
Well, I
We
never
always go
did.
through so fast in Atlantic City
Yeah.
because there's 5 people there, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's at all of them or if it's even still there, but I remember seeing it in several locations
Mhm.
that says no jokes. And you mentioned about the gum being a treat. I remember if we would go to the airport or on our road trips, especially going to my dad's cabin, is we would stop and get breakfast at McDonald's, and that was not a normal thing. And that was like, yes, we get the egg McMuffins or whatever it was, and that
Oh
was always
yeah.
a big thing. Sometimes it was Burger King, but mostly it was McDonald's because it was in the airport or it was real close to our house.
Yeah,
It
so
was
you
on the
have that
way.
one special little thing that makes it,
Oh, starting the day off right. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
gosh.
Yeah.
See, of all, my whole family would get an egg McMuffin, except for me, I would get the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And we'd like you, we would only go every once in a blue moon.
And so yeah, after the biscuit, initially it was the egg McMuffin, but I had to hold the cheese because I didn't like it. But then we
Okay.
found out about the biscuits that you could personalize a little bit more easily. So it was the sausage and egg biscuits was my kryptonite. Sometimes the big breakfast.
Their biscuits are so good.
Oh yeah.
It's been years, but wow.
Now my official travel tip, and this is more before the trip than during the trip, but I mentioned it before, is to involve your kids with the trip planning process. Give
Yeah.
everyone a say in what you're going to do on the trip. It like Zoey gets to choose the hotel, or okay, should we go to the Magic Kingdom first? Should we go to Epcot first? Little things that if you let the kids see the options and let them pick, it gives them more of a stake in the trip and makes them feel more part of the family, gives them more responsibility. It'll help to teach the kids about the destination, help to learn planning skills, and it just helps to build the excitement in general.
Mhm.
During the trip, you can review that information, as you're on your way there, review that information a little bit to help build the excitement more, or just go over things. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we still have to do that thing too, whatever. Um, Showing the kids the route you're going to take if you're traveling on a road trip. And even if it's in the road, on the road, in the air, or in the water, it can help teach about geography.
Yeah.
Like GPS makes it so much easier now, to just pull it up on the phone as you're going. But I still have paper maps in my
Paper
car just in
maps.
case.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And depending on the plane you're on, some of them will have the little TV screen, or if they have like the free internet, you can watch movies at least. That you can often check the route of the plane. It's like, oh look, we're flying. Notice how the path of the plane does not go straight to the place. Why is that? And coverage for the Earth stuff and all that. And it's Zoe. That's another great math thing to do, especially geometry and great circles on spheres. Oh, you can have a field day with that.
When I'm on vacation, I am not doing any math.
This is on the way to the vacation, so you're still in
Yeah.
that.
Still,
You can
These
still
are
do
still,
math
math.
stuff.
These are the
Same.
math sheets.
Same thing new.
You just said you want to do math problems in the
Yeah.
car. This is the
I
same type of thing.
I meant little ones, not like that.
Oh, but this is fun one because you're learning about the trip, the path you're taking, and all kinds of things. So it's involved in the trip, so it can be pretty neat. Oh, look, we're flying over the Great Lakes. Oh, look, we're flying over here.
Yeah.
So, Mandy, how can people get a hold of you?
Through emailing Mandy at dreamsbydesigntravel.com, or I'm on Facebook at facebook.com/MandyDBD.
For us here at the show, Facebook and X, where at Where Yinz Goin. Yin spelled Yinz, Goin, Goin, apostrophe, and sometimes question mark, depending on the platform you're on. You've obviously found the show, so you kind of know how to spell it. Although anyone who's out there just listening, like you're in the car, maybe you're on a road trip listening to this and you didn't look it up. Now you can find your way. Yeah, podcasts are a great way to kill time, Zoe.
They are.
I didn't know
That's
that.
what I do on the way to work now.
So, in a real good one to listen to while you're traveling is the Where Yin's Going podcast. Just saying, especially if we talk about the destination you're going to, can really help you, learn about stuff.
Yeah.
So as you're driving to Niagara Falls, you can listen to the Niagara Falls episode when it comes out.
Perfect.
See, brilliant here, right?
Very,
This is not just a hat rack. So all this information will be in the episode description. So if you'd like to book a trip or have any questions, you know how to find us. You don't have to have written it down or have a photographic memory. Don't have to worry about spelling either. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend. Ladies, thank you very much. This was awesome. We went longer than I expected. This might be its own episode. I might make this a two-parter and you get your own episode, Zoe. You think that's pretty good?
Yeah.
Good idea? Okay.
Thanks, Matt, for having us.
All right. Please join us next time. We're heading out, Nat. We'll see you later.